This is John Kohler with GrowingYourGreens.com. I have another exciting episode for you. Today we're going to do something totally different and something that you've probably never heard of actually. What I'm doing today and what we're doing today in the garden is that actually I'm pruning my cucumbers. That's right. Just like you can prune or single stem tomatoes, you can also prune or single stem cucumbers. And I'm doing this for one very important reason. Because I am growing in close quarters and growing like probably 5 different crops in this raised bed, which is a 4-foot raised bed. I'm growing, parsley, celery, and then the cucumbers are supposed to grow vertically up the trellis. If I don't train them properly and, cut off some of the suckers, they actually tend to bush out and cover the parsley and then the celery plants. So what we want to do is we want them to grow upright, and once they get pretty far up on a single stem, then I'll let them bush out and produce even more. So what we're going to do first is we're not going to single stem the cucumbers first. What we're going to do is we're going to show you an example on the tomato because it's a lot easier to understand on the tomato. Then we're going to come over and show you the example on the cucumber. So let's head over to the tomatoes and check it out. Now we're over at my tomato bed where I'm growing a whole bunch of different tomatoes. And this is the easier way to determine what a sucker is. And a sucker is very simple. And what you want to look or think about when trimming suckers, because it's kind of a hard concept to get if you're not totally thinking about it. I like to try to explain it in layman's terms. Basically, what you can think of is your tomato plant or your cucumber plant like a tree. All the trees, like the fig tree behind me, has a nice large trunk. It goes up, and out the trunk there's like branches that with leaves, right? So just like a tomato plant, right here we got the main trunk or the main stem of the tomato. And as it goes up, it's going to have branches with leaves, and that's what these are. The branches with the leaves only. And between the trunk and each leaf that comes out, it's called an armpit. So this is an armpit here because we got the main trunk and a leaf, and then in the armpit there's a little sucker. So this one's happened to be small. And we're going to go up the main stem, and this is the main stem right here. And then you can see the stem goes up here and continues. And here's a leaf. And right at the armpit, there's a little sucker right here. So we're going to go ahead and pinch that guy off. So this is the little sucker, and it's like if we were the tomato plant. Remember, my whole body is like the stem. My arm is like where the leaves are going to come out, and right in my armpit is going to be the sucker. And now we'll pull these suckers, and you can actually put these suckers, actually keep them wet in dirt, and these guys will actually root and make new plants for it if you want to use it that way. Or you could actually just, compost these as well. So that's how you do it on a tomato plant. So now that you see the easy illustration, we're going to go over the cucumber plant, which actually has a few more things to deal with. And we'll explain that when we get there. So now we're back at the cucumbers, and we're going to be pruning these out. And we're going to show you guys how to chop off the suckers on them. But before we do, there are a few tools or a few things you'll need. Number one, I always like to have a 5-gallon bucket to put all my cuttings or the prunings that I'm putting in. Then I'll take this to my compost pile. Aside from that, the other thing we'll need a thing of clips, because after all, the reason why we're pruning these guys are to train them up the trellis. It's a 6-foot tall trellis, and we'll need to clip them up. So instead of using string that could be a kind of a pain and can't easily be reused, I like to use these little clips that are designed for plants, and I have another episode on this if you're interested in it. That we could just reuse later and easily clip these to get them to grow upward. Also, these are a lot quicker to apply than using something like string or twine. In addition, if the suckers are large, you may also need to have some clippers. If they're small, you could kind of just pinch them off. Now what we're going to do is we're going to show you how the cucumber grows. You can see the base of the plant here. This is in the ground, and this is the main stem. That's the thing you always want to keep your eye on, is the main stem. Out of the main stem, there'll be a few things that grow on a cucumber, much like the tomato. There'll be a leaf that comes out. So here's a leaf that comes out. And I think that's one of the baby leaves that are still hanging on. And then you could continue to follow the stem up. As the stem goes up further, it's going to send out, more leaves. And this is a leaf right here. And also the stem's going to continue. So at that junction between where the leaf comes out and the stem goes up will be a sucker. So the sucker is a whole new unique plant, and this is the whole new unique plant here. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to carefully pinch this guy off. And here it is. And unlike tomatoes, you can easily put this into the ground and root it. I've never had success doing that. There might be a way. So we're going to go ahead and compost that. So if we continue to go up, you'll see, a whole bunch of other things, including flowers, and these are where the fruits are going to form. And there's a few more suckers we're going to have to actually pinch off. Here's one here. But we're going to go up a little bit more and show you another real easy example. Right here we can see the main stem still going up, and at this point, this is the stem up here on my top finger and on my bottom finger. And up here we have a leaf coming out. In addition to the leaf, we got the flowers and the fruit forming. So these are the flowers and the fruit going to be forming. In addition, we have the little sucker, which is this guy. So we could just literally clip this off. That was really easy. In addition, you're also going to get that little wraparound thing. I don't know the technical name, but this is the little wraparound thing that'll go. And here's an example of which. These things actually wrap around and will help to, climb and trellis itself. Now, they're not always super effective on cucumber, so that's why we're also going to be pinning them up just to make sure. There's multiple things that come out on the cucumber, unlike on the tomato. So once again, you got the main stem going up. You also have a leaf coming out. You also have that little tendril thing that catches onto stuff, and you also got the fruiting points. So you want to make sure you just get the suckers alone. So we're probably going to do that and let these go single stem up to maybe about at least 3-4 feet, and then we're just going to let them branch out and do whatever they want after they're out of the way. And there's now going to be able to get full sun on the celery and the parsley down below. So hopefully in this episode you learned how to prune your cucumbers. Now, this absolutely necessary? Absolutely not. This is the first year actually I'm pruning my cucumbers. If you catch them early enough, you could train them up pretty well without taking out the suckers. We planted these so densely and so close together that if we don't prune out the suckers, it's just going to be a jumbled mess. If you have a lot of acreage, then just let them sprawl out on the ground and grow and sucker out as much as you want, but in a tight, confined quarters. Definitely recommend at least pulling off the suckers for a little bit until they're more established and out of the way of the plants down below. Hopefully now, if you're growing cucumbers vertically, you'll now know how to prune off your suckers. So once again, my name is John Kohler with GrowingYourGreens.com. We'll see you next time, and remember, keep on growing.